more often than not, it is not always about going for a win-win scenario, because that might sound ideal in theory, but in reality, that may not always be the case. So let me share with you what I term as the two factors that you need to consider in deciding whether you should go for a win-win scenario or any other kinds of outcomes that you're looking for. Now, it's based on these two things here that we need to be aware of. Number one is what? The relationship that we have with the counterpart. And the second, which is your desire to get your outcome. So it's based on these two factors. Number one, the relationship that you share with your counterpart. Number two, your desire to get the outcomes. Now, is it so important for you to get what you want through that negotiation? Because based on this is where we can decide if a win-win scenario is ideal. Now, if relationship is important, for instance, but the desire to get the outcome, now it's really not that important for you to get what you want. Because you know that maybe there's more for you to gain in the future. So this is where we can even go for what I term as a lose-win scenario. Now, it is perfectly fine for me to lose in the short run because I know there's more for me to gain in the future. So what we term this as the accommodating approach. So we're there to accommodate to our counterpart. But however, if there are times where we find ourselves in a situation where relationship is not important, and you realize that it's really not that important for me to get what I want. So here's where we can even go for what? Avoidance. Or we can just simply avoid going to a deal in the first place. Because sometimes, guess what? Going for no deal can really be a wiser choice than to go for an outcome where both parties have something to lose. So we don't want to go for a lose-lose scenario. So it's better to go for a no deal. But here's the thing, what if it's so important for you to win? There's so much at stake. Has that ever happened to you before? There's so much is at stake. But yet, now relationship is not really that important to you. Now again, as I say, in the ideal world, we would want to go for a win-win scenario. But how many of you agree that there are times in life where someone has to win more? So here's where there would be times where you need to go for a win-lose. Now, as long as that person's not losing too much, okay? But I will have more to gain, so I will go for a win-lose scenario, and we call this what? Competing. But last but not least, of course, this is what we are all aiming for. If it's possible, is where we go for collaborating. And so here's where now both parties stand to win. So what I'm saying here is this: at the end of the day, the outcome that you're going to achieve, or the negotiation approach that you're going to choose, is very much dependent on these two factors here.